Now listen, Twiddle dear, said Mrs. Twiddle, bustling round with her hat on. I'm going out to the sewing meeting, but I shan't be more than 2 hours. If the laundry comes, oh dear, groaned Mr. Twiddle. I haven't got to spend the whole afternoon answering the door, have I? I haven't read my morning paper yet. Now, don't begin to make a fuss, said Mrs. Twiddle. Surely I can go out for 2 hours, can't I? And leave things to you. Or are you so lazy that? It's all right, love, it's all right, said Twiddle hastily. What were you saying? If the laundry comes? The laundryman will bring back the basket of clean things, said Mrs. Twiddle. So just tell him to put it in the scullery. And our next door neighbor, Mr. Jakes, has asked me if I'll take in a parcel for him as he's out today. So if that comes, ask the man to stand it out in the yard. Right, said Twiddle, and I'll have tea ready for you, dear, when you get home. The kettle boiling and everything laid, and I'll see that the fire is kept up. Is there anything else? Yes, if the cat wants to go out, open the window for her, said Mrs. Twiddle. And if she mews, give her. Have I got to wait on that cat of yours? Grumbled Mr. Twiddle. When you're out, she leads me a terrible life. Wants me to let her out and then let her in, wants to sleep on my knee and puts herself where I can fall over her and... Oh, very well, Twiddle. If you feel like that, I'll stay at home and see to things myself, said Mrs. Twiddle, and began to take the pins out of her hat, ready to take it off. No, said Twiddle in alarm, seeing his lovely peaceful afternoon by the fire disappearing. I'll see to the cat. For goodness sake, go to your meeting. I only wish you could let the cat go to it too. Its claws are sharp as needles. It ought to be very useful at the sewing meeting. Don't try to be funny, Twiddle. It doesn't suit you, said Mrs. Twiddle, putting her hat pins in again. Now, have a nice quiet time with your paper. Twiddle heard the front door bang a few seconds later and the sound of his wife's footsteps going down the path. Now for a lovely, peaceful snooze by the fire with his paper. He was about to sit down when the cat walked in. Twiddle eyed her sternly. You're going to stay out of doors all the afternoon, he said. Do you hear me? I know what you're planning. You mean to wait till I'm asleep and then you will leap on my knee, cuddle down there and dig your claws into me every time I move. Meow, said the cat politely. Out you go, said Twiddle, and shooed the cat firmly out of the kitchen window. Then he shut it and looked round the room. Well, that's got rid of the cat, he said. Now, before I have a snooze, what have I to do? I may sleep all the afternoon, so I'd better do my jobs first. Yes, I'll make up the fire well and put the kettle on the hob to boil for tea. And I may as well lay the table too. So he put coal on the fire, filled the kettle, set it well back on the hob, and then he laid the table for tea. He even cut the bread and butter. Now, what else did Mrs. Twiddle say? Thought Mr. Twiddle. Oh, yes. Take in the laundry basket, and look out in case somebody brings a parcel for Mr. Jakes next door. Well, even if I'm asleep, I'll hear them knocking. He felt very pleased with himself. He saw the cat mewing at the window, but he took no notice whatever of her. Let her mew, do her voice good. He took his newspaper and settled down with it in front of the fire, which was burning well. What peace! Nobody bustling about asking him to do things. No cat worrying him. Wonderful! After he had read a few words, Mr. Dwindle's eyes closed. His glasses slipped to the end of his nose and he snored gently. The clock ticked half an hour away and Mr. Twiddle didn't stir. Someone came up the garden path and knocked at the front door. Mr. Twiddle didn't wake up, but merely began to dream that he was in his shed hammering nails, knock, 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 knockty knock. Then the somebody at the door rang the bell. A ring! Mr. Twiddle's dreams changed, and he thought he was on a bicycle ringing the bell to make the cat get out of his way. Then the somebody came to the kitchen window and called loudly, "Hey you! I've been knocking and ringing for ages. Where am I to put this basket?" Twiddle woke up with a jump and blinked at the face at the window. He saw a big basket on the man's back and remembered the laundry. "Put it in the scullery," he shouted. The doors unlocked. The man nodded and disappeared. Mr. Twiddle heard the back door open and a basket being put down on the floor. The cat slipped in before the man closed the door. It slid into the kitchen and waited till Twiddle was asleep again. Then it climbed onto his knee and sat there, happily digging its claws in and out of Twiddle's leg. Twiddle at once dreamt that he was at the sewing meeting, pricking himself with the needle. He gave a little groan. Sometimes later, there was a bang at the back door. The cat dug its claws into Twiddle very hard, scared at the noise, and Twiddle woke up. He pushed the cat off his knees in a hurry and gave it a smack. The knocking came again at the back door. "Oh, put the parcel into the yard," yelled Twiddle, rubbing his sore leg. "Right," called a voice, and then footsteps went back up the path and the gate banged. "No peace at all," grumbled Twiddle. "And how did that cat get in? Where's it gone? I know it's just waiting till I fall asleep again." He nodded off, but the cat didn't come back. It had gone into the scullery. Twiddle began to dream again. This time he dreamt of hens, and in his dream he was trying to collect their eggs and they were pecking him and cackling and squalling loudly. He woke up in a hurry. Good gracious, what a peculiar dream! It's old Jake's hens quacking in his yard next door, thought Twiddle. What a row they make! I really must complain to him, waking me up like this. Why, I haven't been able to sleep a wink the whole afternoon. He looked at the clock. Good gracious, it was almost 4:30. How the afternoon had gone. He pulled the kettle to the front of the stove to make it boil quickly. Mrs. Twiddle would soon be home. He heard her quick footsteps tiptoeing to the front door a few minutes later, and her key as she slipped it into the lock. "Hello, Twiddle, love," she called. "Have you had a peaceful afternoon?" Did the laundry come? Yes, it's in the scullery, said Twiddle, taking the kettle to make the tea. And Mr. Jake's parcel is out in the yard. I've cut the bread and butter, dear. Now just you sit down and tell me about the meeting. Well, began Mrs. Twiddle, sitting down with her hat still on. As soon as I got there, she stopped as a peculiar noise came from the scullery. A loud squawk. What's that? She said. Only Jake's hens, said Twiddle. They have been disturbing me all afternoon. I never got a wink of sleep. There came another squawk and then a loud cackle. Mrs. Twiddle looked puzzled. Then such a loud clucking came that she jumped. Twiddle, she said, that can't be Jake's hens. They never sound as loud as that. Why, he keeps them right at the bottom of his garden. Cluck-a-luck-luck, cluck-a-luck-luck. Well, all I can say is that he must have brought them up near the house, said Twiddle. Squawk! I never heard such a noise in my life, said Mrs. Twiddle. Honestly, anyone would think there were half a dozen hens out in our scullery. Now that's absurd, said Twiddle, pouring out a cup of tea. You know perfectly well that we don't keep hens in the scullery. Have a little sense, dear. Cackle, cackle, squawk. The noise is in the scullery, said Mrs. Twiddle, and it is hens. Twiddle, have you put any hens there? If you think this is a funny joke, it isn't. I do not catch hens and put them into the scullery, said Twiddle, offended. I may do stupid things occasionally, but I do not put hens into the scullery. Squawk, squawk, cluck, meow, duck, cackle. The cat's out there too, said Mrs. Twiddle, and she leapt from her seat. She went into the scullery and gave such a scream that Twiddle hurried out too. He saw the cat clawing at something in a big basket that had holes at the top, and from the basket came scared and angry chicks and squawks. Mrs. Twiddle screamed, "Oh, it's the parcel that was to be stood in the yard for Mr. Jake's. It must be his new hens. Twiddle, how dare you have them put indoors?" I didn't. It was the laundry, said Twiddle. Twiddle amazed. Don't say that it's turned into hens. The laundry basket's out in the yard and it's pouring with rain now, and everything in it will be soaked, cried Mrs. Twiddle, looking out of the window. It can't be hens in this basket, said Twiddle in a daze. I know this was the laundry. The hens are out in the yard. And to prove his words, he actually opened the basket that stood in the scullery. Out flew half a dozen hens at once, and the cat sprang at them in joy. Feathers flew. The cat yowled. The hens squawked and flew all over the place, but Mrs. Twiddle made more noise than any of them. How angry she was! She chased the hens, she chased the cat, and she chased Twiddle too. The hens flew out into the garden and most sensibly disappeared over the wall to join Mr. Jake's other hens. The cat leapt over the opposite wall and didn't come back for hours. But Twiddle couldn't fly or leap, so he just had to stay where he was and cope with the angry Mrs. Twiddle. He had to clean up the scullery, fetch in the laundry basket, take out the wet clothes and put them ready to hang out on the line as soon as it stopped raining. He disappeared when he had done everything. He felt that he really must have some peace and quiet. So he went to the old shed, made himself a soft place with some sacks, lighted the pipe, and hoped that nobody would find him. But somebody is even now climbing in at the window, somebody who really feels quite sorry for old Twiddle and wants to cuddle up to him. Yes, you're right, it's that cat.